What does it really mean to be the most powerful military in the world? With 195 recognized countries, there's only one nation that consistently stands above the rest, the United States. As of 2024, the US is once again ranked as the #1 global military power. But what does this actually entail? It's more than just counting tanks and jets. Today, we're diving deep into what makes the US military the undisputed leader on the world stage. Military strength is complex. It can't just be measured by numbers. Sure, a country might have thousands of tanks or jets, but what if they're outdated? What if the personnel are undertrained or poorly coordinated? To truly assess military dominance, we have to look at a combination of factors: cutting-edge technology, strategic logistics, operational readiness, and the ability to project power globally. So how does the US fare in these areas? Let's start with the backbone of any military force: funding. In 2024, the US defense budget is a staggering $886 billion. That's 3.3% of the country's GDP, and to put it in perspective, it's more than the next 10 countries combined. For comparison, China, which is the second largest military spender in the world, allocates $236 billion to its military, a little more than a quarter of what the US spends. Russia, despite its aggressive global stance, only budgets $109 billion. This budget isn't just about funding war, it's about maintaining military dominance and ensuring operational readiness across every corner of the globe. Where does this massive budget go? It's distributed across 4 key areas: operations, funding military missions, deployments, and the costs of maintaining overseas bases; maintenance, ensuring equipment stays in top condition, from tanks and aircraft to ships and artillery; research and development, investing in cutting-edge technology, such as hypersonic weapons, AI-driven combat systems, and autonomous drones; procurement, buying new equipment, weapons, and vehicles, including advanced fighter jets, naval vessels, and defense systems. But having the money is just part of the equation. It's how that money is used that truly makes a difference. The US military is not just one of the largest in the world, it's one of the most advanced. Every dollar spent is aimed at ensuring American forces are the most effective, versatile, and capable of responding to any threat, anywhere, anytime. Let's talk personnel. The US military boasts an active duty force of around 1.3 million soldiers in 2024. Add to that nearly 800,000 reservists, and the US is one of the most agile and flexible fighting forces in the world. However, this is only part of the picture. The total available manpower in the US stands at nearly 150 million people, men and women who could be called to serve in times of national emergency. But it's not just about numbers. The US places a heavy emphasis on training and readiness. Soldiers undergo continuous, rigorous training to ensure they remain battle-ready, highly skilled, and able to operate some of the world's most advanced military equipment. On the ground, US armored forces remain one of the most formidable in the world. The M1 Abrams tank is still the backbone of US ground warfare capabilities, with over 4,600 units in active service. The Abrams isn't just a heavily armored tank, it's a modernized machine capable of withstanding most forms of direct attack, fitted with cutting-edge systems that keep it ahead of potential adversaries. And while some countries may field more tanks, none can match the combination of quality, firepower, and maneuverability the US tanks bring to the battlefield.
But it's not just about tanks. The US military's real strength comes from its ability to dominate multiple domains simultaneously: land, sea, air, and even space. The US Air Force is second to none. With over 13,000 aircraft, the US boasts the largest and most diverse fleet in the world. From stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit capable of striking deep into enemy territory undetected to advanced multi-role fighter jets like the F-35 Lightning II, the US controls the skies with unmatched superiority. And that's critical because air superiority allows the US to carry out operations anywhere, without the threat of enemy interference. The F-35, for instance, is not just a fighter jet. It's a flying supercomputer equipped with advanced sensors, radar evasion technology, and capabilities that make it the world's most advanced jet in service. At sea, the US Navy reigns supreme. In 2024, the US operates 11 aircraft carriers, the ultimate symbols of American power projection. These carriers are essentially floating cities, capable of launching air operations anywhere in the world. Each carrier houses a full wing of fighter jets, bombers, and helicopters, and can operate independently for months. No other country comes close. In fact, the rest of the world combined has fewer aircraft carriers than the US Navy. Beyond carriers, the Navy also maintains a fleet of destroyers, cruisers, submarines, and amphibious assault ships, giving the US the ability to respond rapidly to global crises. Perhaps the most critical aspect of the US military's power is its global reach. As of 2024, the US maintains a military presence in nearly every region of the world. Over 100,000 US troops are stationed across Europe, with another 30,000 in the Middle East, and a further 375,000 spread throughout the Indo-Pacific region. These forward-deployed forces allow the US to respond to any threat at a moment's notice, projecting power and influence far beyond its borders. Whether it's deterring adversaries, reassuring allies, or responding to crises, the US military's global footprint is unparalleled. But military strength isn't just about having the best equipment or the most soldiers. It's about how all these pieces come together: technology, training, and strategy. And no military exemplifies that more than the United States. From missile defense systems to cyber capabilities, the US military is constantly adapting to meet emerging threats. In 2024, the focus on modernization continues, with investments in hypersonic missiles, artificial intelligence, and quantum computing set to keep the US ahead of its rivals for decades to come. Yet, no military is perfect. The US faces competition in several areas, especially in the sheer size of reserve forces. Countries like Russia and Vietnam maintain reserves that outnumber US reservists by millions. But sheer numbers alone don't determine military success. The US military's continuous investment in technological innovation and operational readiness ensures it maintains a qualitative edge. As we look to the future, the question remains, can any country truly challenge the US military's dominance? Some argue that China's growing military might, with its advancements in naval power and missile systems, could one day rival the US. Others point to Russia's resurgence as a military force. But for now, the US remains the world's foremost military superpower, and that's not likely to change anytime soon. But what do you think? Could any country realistically surpass the US military in the near future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our next video on what would happen if the US launched a nuclear bomb minute by minute.